Hi, I'm Jada from Girl from the Coast Designs. I create knitting patterns and tutorials designed with structure, clarity and care. This is the second video in my Designing for 17 Sizes series. And what I want to talk to you about today is how I protect the design across every size. In our previous video we looked at how I grade garments and scale them across the various sizes. Today we're looking at something different. How do you preserve the character of a design as it grows? And the example I'm going to use today is the rustic lace design for the Navis sweater, which is soon to be released and be available on my Ravelry page. And this is a design that travels from a saddle shoulder, rustic lace, down the saddle shoulder continuously, right down in the sleeve. And in this design, it is the only decoration on this garment. It's a very rustic design, but also a very beautiful design with this lace. So the challenge was how to protect the integrity of this lace across the full size range, so 17 sizes from a 30-inch bust through to a 60-inch bust. And the way I did that can be demonstrated in my charts here for the lace and the various lace samples that I worked on. And what I did first of all was create this first panel. So the Navis panel, it's this one here, and that is worked across 19 stitches and 16 rows. So that was the foundation lace. From that I then scaled this design down to the smallest sizes, and this one, same lace design, just fewer lines, fewer nups, fewer rows in terms of the pattern, but the same integral lace, is 15 stitches and 12 rows, and that fits a smaller frame, a smaller shoulder. But it's proportional to the size of the garment itself, and that's what I was looking for. And then taking this design, how did I scale it up for a larger frame and a larger shoulder? So again, the lace was proportional in terms of how it sat across the shoulder and down into the sleeve, and that became the design there. So 27 stitches and 20 rows to the pattern, but all having their same foundation in this original lace panel here. It's actually a really beautiful design, almost like a lily of the valley, and that's how we worked there. So in the charts it was about lighter motifs or a larger motif, maintaining scale and maintaining the elegance of the design. Those middle sizes, as I said, were the original version, and then the largest size was the expanded. Why did I just not use this one chart panel or lace panel across all designs? Because on a smaller frame, this is oversized, over proportional, the visual balance changes. The same is true on the larger frame. This was too small. It would have got lost in this sea of stockinette that is the rest of the garment. I didn't want the shoulders to be crowded, so the lace had to just fit snugly across that saddle panel. And I also didn't want a sea of stockinette to start emerging in the saddles for the larger frames. I also, on the smaller frame, didn't want the sleeve to be too busy, so that the garment no longer looked like my original design conception or inspiration. So having preserved the visual density of the design and scaled it so that it filled the available space naturally, That's what I wanted as a designer, but I was also thinking about, as a knitter or the ultimate wearer of this garment, what am I looking for? And what I didn't want was for people or knitters to think I got a simplified version or I got the oversized version. I wanted the garment to have the same personality and the same visual appearance no matter what size and where you actually sit in the range of sizes across the 17 that are available. So this lace design is doing a lot of work in this garment. It has to adjust for the neckline depth, the neckline width, ease, shaping, and increase cadence in the sleeve, because all of those influence how the finished garment is perceived. And in scaling these designs, I have accounted for all of that. And I know that any purchaser of this pattern, no matter where they sit in the size range, will receive exactly the garment that I intended when I first came up with the lace panel. Designing across 17 sizes isn't simply about grading numbers, it's preserving the intent of the design. And that's ultimately what I'm trying to achieve. Every knitter, regardless of size, should receive a garment that looks, fits and feels like the one I originally imagined. I hope you enjoyed this short video today about designing across all 17 sizes. There will be further coming in the series. If you did enjoy it, please like and subscribe to be sure that you don't miss out on our upcoming videos. Thank you for knitting with me today.